May I come in, sir?
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Vishal.
Yes, sir.
Please be seated, Vishal. Let us know when you are ready. Ready?
Thank you, sir.
So, Vishal, I was seeing your draft. The photo looked very casual to me, right?
Sir, it is a photo that I had used earlier, so I thought it was fine.
Okay. And generally, did they not expect you to give a new photograph or a formal photograph? The question, instructions?
The instructions say that the photograph has to be latest, and there are instructions related to the size of the photograph.
Okay.
So those are the two things that I found.
Okay. So, briefly introduce yourself, Vishal.
Sir, my name is Vishal Dubey. I am a native of Farrukhbad in Uttar Pradesh. Currently, my father is posted in Agra, therefore my family lives there. I completed my schooling from class 6th to class 12th from Rashtriya Military School, Bangalore. Thereafter, I completed my graduation from St. John's College, Agra University, Agra. And currently, I am pursuing my master's in political science from the same college. I play a lot of sports, I like music, and I read and write poetry.
Achha, you are from RIMC, right?
No, sir, RMS.
RMS, Rashtriya Military School.
Yes, sir.
So why you did not opt military career as an option?
Sir, I did. I cleared my NDA in class 12th, but I could not join the academy due to a medical problem.
Okay.
Yes.
What was the issue?
Sir, there was perforation of my eardrum.
But आजकल तो eardrum तो ठीक हो जाता है.
Yes, sir. I got a surgery done. After that, after I got rejected, but my surgery was unsuccessful. So one of my ears is still not within the criteria that they demand.
So that is because you could not correct the surgical deficiencies.
No, sir.
You cannot.
No, sir.
Because I was also a case of perforation in my right eardrum. So I got it, surgery done, and I went back.
Yes,
so they had accepted. Very unfortunate.
Yes.
Huh? You lost. You maybe good for you also, maybe unfortunate also. Maybe you would have got a general from Agra. Achha, I see you play a lot of sports.
Yes.
And you've also been in NCC.
Yes.
Right? NCC B certificate ka apne exam.
Yes.
B certificate in the sense you would have written a written examination followed by some tests. Also,
yes.
Right? Can you tell me what is an ambush?
Sir, an ambush is a situation where two parties face each other in a hand-to-hand combat.
Definition yaad hai?
No, sir.
Definition yaad hai. Okay. And you also participated in the Republic Day Parade.
Yes.
2022.
Yes.
As a any appointment holder you were?
No, sir. I was an NSS volunteer.
NSS volunteer. Yes, sir. Okay. How many NSS cadets go for the Republic Day?
Sir, 148 volunteers are selected for the camp. Out of them, 100 march.
Okay. Remaining attend the president's thing?
No, sir. It's not like that. Those 48 are for reserve.
Okay.
All of us attend the president's lunch and the president's and the prime minister's house.
Okay. So everybody will go.
Yes.
So you got to meet to our honorable Prime Minister Modi ji?
Yes, sir.
You got to meet.
Yes, sir.
कुछ बात हुई personally?
No, sir.
नहीं, उतना टाइम नहीं मिला.
No, sir.
हाँ? अगर आपको 2 मिनट दे दिए जाए प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ,
yes, sir.
और the condition is that whatever you will ask for,
yes,
will be fulfilled. What will you ask? Whatever under the sky you will ask, it will be fulfilled.
Sir, I would ask for a drastic change in the higher education system.
Higher education system.
Yes.
Why do you feel there is a drastic change required?
Sir, I see that we do not have enough universities of world-class caliber. So we have to, so many of the talented students have to fight for just a few universities, which is bad for the human resources, which is bad for them as they are not able to fulfill their potential in many ways. So I would say that if we had more institutions like the IITs, like the GNUs, and especially in the humanities stream, so that would be one thing that I would like.
I see in your draft you also written, you have done some debate on role of women, best speaker in the university.
Yes.
The role of women in a peaceful world.
Yes, sir.
So why are you connecting women and peace? Do you mean to say that they are responsible for the chaos?
No, sir.
Uh,
My argument in the debate was that if you give women more space in the decision making corridors, then we would have a more compassionate world, because women are having certain qualities of compassion and sympathy, as well as a sense of as well as a certain sensibility that men need to build up, but women have it naturally. So that is what it is.
Now that your mother also happens to be a housewife, right? If there is one thing that you can give to the women across our country or across the world for that matter, what kind of independence would that be?
Sir, if I had to give them one independence, if it was in my hand, I would give them the freedom of choice.
Choice of?
Choice to opt out of what the society expects of them. Society expects a woman who is more domesticated, in the sense that she is working at home. Even if she is a earner, even if she earns outside, she is supposed to be the so-called caretaker of the house. So I would give them a choice.
If you absolve the woman of that responsibility,
yes, sir,
then who will take care of that responsibility? The child needs that care, right? The nature has designed women to share that bonding with the child. If you take away that, then you are doing injustice to the child.
I would say, sir, just because women have that responsibility of maternity, they are supposed to be the primary caregivers of the child, not the entire household.
Okay.
So therefore, the entire household, that is the husband and other members of the family, should also fulfill their part in the nurturing of the child as well as of that of the household.
Your father was dependent on your mother?
I would not say that, sir.
Who used to do the cooking at home?
On the cooking aspect, we are all dependent on our mother.
Mother,
yes.
Right? So in the absence of mother support, your father would not have worked well. So he is dependent on your mother.
Suppose my mother would also be working outside for in an economic activity, then we would have enough money to maybe hire someone who can cook.
Okay.
He can be a male or a female.
Good. I see you have done your graduation in humanities, right?
Yes, sir.
You shifted from science to humanities after your 12th.
Yes, sir.
So was it because of your NDA debacle that you chose to go on a different path?
Not that per se. I was also interested in humanities subjects. I was interested in reading poetry. I was interested in philosophy. So I went to this.
CBSE में आपके number उतने खास आए नहीं 12वीं?
Yes, sir.
78.
Yes, sir.
Maybe sports has some responsibility to play?
No, sir. I think the responsibility is twofold. One is mine, that I could have worked a bit harder. The second thing is that I was having my medicals in Delhi, my re-medical, and my boards in Bangalore at the same time. So I had to travel from Bangalore to Delhi 3 days in the train, then get my re-medical done, then come back, then give my exam, and I had to do it twice. So three of my exams got disturbed through because of that.
Okay, because I see one side you've got 44th rank in India, which happens to be a very tough exam, right? And on the other side 78%, so that is not matching. So I wanted to know what would have gone wrong. But you have, cleared that in the BA. You got 87% in the BA. That's a good sign. You've studied history, geography, and political science, right? Out of these three, which happens to be your favorite subject?
Sir, political science.
All science happens to be a favorite subject. Can you tell me what is the contribution of Aristotle to the political science?
Sir, Aristotle is known as the father of political science.
Okay.
So his contribution to political science is multifold. He is also known as the father of comparative politics. He gave a new approach to study political science in a very comparative manner, because he compared 158 constitutions of that time and then gave out a form of government. So, and his theory on of golden mean also helps us into deciding which kind of when we have to make a decision between two things.
Very recently, don't you think in one of the decisions of the government used this golden mean concept? Or in any country, while dealing with any country, do you see this golden mean concept coming into play?
Sir, our foreign policy is largely based on this, because we were independent. We got independence in 1947, as soon as we got independence, the Cold War started. So we had to balance between two sides.
Okay.
Therefore, we had to constantly find the golden mean between those sides.
Good, good, good. So one more question, because you are from Pol Science. According to you, which country is the best friend of India and why?
Sir, in international relations,
I know the state.
no permanent friends.
I know the state. Best friend. Historical experience you can use as a benchmark.
Sir, if I had to use a benchmark of historical experience, then I would say Russia has been one of our, Russia and Japan. If I had to point out one, then I would say Japan has been one of our friends which we can rely on, that for even on our critical issues.
Russia and Japan.
Yes, sir.
What will Russia gain being so friendly to India? उसको क्या मिलेगा?
Sir, India is a growing economy, the fourth largest economy. Therefore, they will get a market. The second thing is they are a gas and petroleum exporting country. We are a huge energy guzzling economy, so we would need that. The third is we are their largest, one of their largest defense trading partners.
In 60s, 70s, when Russia supported you during the 1971 liberation war,
Yes.
that time we were more or less a closed economy.
Yes.
So this aspect of trade never came into play. When this aspect of trade was not a factor in decision making, why Russia chose to be a friend of India? So when we signed the Treaty of Friendship 1971, we had something to get, but they didn't have anything to get. Why did they sign the Treaty of Friendship on the conditions that were there?
Sir, it was a form of Cold War was a side job, was not just a battle of two nations, but a battle of two ideologies. So by signing a treaty with India, India was seen as leaning in closer to that ideology. It would also give USSR a power projection in the entire world, getting a nation as big as India on their side.
So that is what primarily to take India on the board of socialism.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Vashir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Importance of literature in human life.
Yes, sir. Sir, the importance of literature in human life is multifold. Humans are creatures of introspection. We are creatures of narratives. We try to build a story. Even the world around us that we try to understand is through stories that we build. This is why most of us get our moral compass from Kabir ke dohe that we hear in our childhood. So that is the importance of literature in human life. It helps us in understanding the world a little bit better. Then the second thing would be that whenever we are faced with a dilemma or a situation where there is a form of cognitive dissonance within us, literature helps us in curing that dissonance. And then the third thing is it gives us idols.
If I'm correct, the modern youth, not you, for all this thing, they either consult Google or they consult their friends and they find a solution. Nobody knows about Kabir Doha. And what is your opinion about that? Modern youth, I'm talking about.
I would say even the modern youth, there's no one single general spectrum within which we can categorize all the modern youth. There are people who are interested in both of, even in Kabir ke dohe, as well as scrolling on Instagram through memes. So I guess we have a binary there.
Okay. One nation, one election.
Yes.
What is your personal view on that? Your personal view.
Sir, my personal view is that although there are merits and demerits to this idea, at the same time, we have to keep in mind that in India, we have governments that fall before 5 years. So it would be impractical in that sense if we go for a single
What
election.
do you advise?
What?
Prime Minister ask your final advice.
Yes. Sir, I would suggest two plans. One is conducting elections after 2.5 years, that is after half the term. So the states that have elections can be planned 2.5 years. And the second would be whenever there's a fall in government, we can use the German mechanism where the parties who are rebelling against the government within the legislature, they also have to propose an alternate government at the same time. So if they do that,
And
then
if they fail to do so?
then there would be re-elections, which would again disrupt the system of one nation, one elections. So that's why it has to be made either a compulsory provision. Otherwise, we cannot have one nation, one election.
The Election Commission notified 56 seats to Rajya Sabha.
Yes, sir.
Who elects Rajya Sabha MPs and what is the procedure?
Sir, Rajya Sabha MPs are elected by members of legislative assemblies in various states.
What is the procedure?
Through a ballot box
What is the
elections.
system? I'm a MLA in UP.
Yes,
How do
sir.
I vote?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact procedure as of now.
Have you heard about that single transferable vote?
Yes, sir.
What is
Proportional representation by single transferable vote.
Single transferable vote. What is that?
Sir, single transferable vote is when instead of giving one vote to one candidate, there's a choice of candidates such as 2, 3 or 4, and the vote is then passed on to the next eligible candidate if the topmost choice of one person gets less than a certain amount of quota votes. So that is how it happens.
Why do you want to join civil services?
Sir, I have done my graduation, so my first priority would be getting a source of employment, and I think civil services is somewhere where I can contribute. The second is, I think India is on a journey to becoming one of the great powers in the current world order, and I would like to be the part of that journey at very close quarters. And my third reason is that once Rajendra Yadav sir, he is also known as the waterman of India, he once said that whatever he could achieve in 15 years with an NGO, a single civil servant with a goodwill could have done it in 1 year. So I guess that is one of the things that you get that opportunity to serve the society so well.
You are doing MA regularly or through correspondence?
Sir, regularly.
Regularly.
Yes, sir.
And this is your which attempt?
Sir, first attempt.
First attempt. You are
Yes,
qualified then.
Yes, sir.
You should be proud of you.
Yes, sir. Thank
No?
you. Yes, sir.
Are you proud of you?
Yes, sir.
Forget about this. What are the other achievements for you?
Yes, sir.
Civil service, forget the
Yes, sir.
result. I say, are you proud of you?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how. Why?
Because I have been able to do what I thought of after I got out of school. I envisioned myself as an individual who is capable of understanding the newspaper, the things that are going around me in a deeper way, in a better way, in the second layer way. So I think I have been trying to do it and have been able to do it at certain quarters. So that's why.
What is recession?
Yes. Recession is when the gross domestic product of a country is falling down.
Falling.
Yes.
From 6% it falls to 5%. Is it recession?
If the growth is decelerating, then also it is
From
recession.
6 to 2. It comes from 6%, it comes to 2%.
Yes, sir.
Is it recession?
I guess yes, sir.
What is literature?
Yes, sir.
Literature. What is literature?
Literature is a form of human expression. It can be through poetry, it can be through stories, it can be through essays, it can be, it is something that gives, that is an expression of human consciousness and his interaction with his surroundings.
A very simple statement answer could be literature is a mirror of life.
Yes, sir.
In whichever society it is written, whichever language it is written, it's a mirror of life. It mirrors, it shows the society, how the society is. Now, next is your president of College Literary Society and organized seminar on India and Global South.
Yes, sir.
So, what is Global South?
Sir, Global South is largely taken as the group of post-colonial developing nations that got their independence after or around the Second World War, and they are currently seen as economically developing economies that have a low per capita income and low growth statistics.
And you are fond of reading books, non-fiction,
Yes, sir.
and reading and writing poetry.
Yes, sir.
So, what is fiction and what is non-fiction?
Sir, fiction is a form of literature that is set in an imaginary world, whereas non-fiction is set in a real world. It can be around issues like poverty or like environment Whereas fiction would be set in a imaginary world, that is a story or a poem.
Does a story have any aim? Does it have any aim or
Yes, sir.
just a mountain of words?
Sir, a story has two aims. One is for the writer. It is a form of expression. It's give him a sense of self-fulfillment and outlet to his expression. The second is for the reader. It would give him insight into the mind of the writer, into the society. If he is not from our country, let's say, so it would give him insight of the society that the writer is from. So those are the two benefits.
You write poetry also.
Yes, sir.
So what is poetry?
Sir, poetry is said to be felt thought.
Felt thought.
Felt thought. Sometimes poetry, although has a certain structure of words as well, it is written in a rhyme, in a prose, it can be written either way. But at the same time, it has to convey a certain thought that the author of the story, of the poem feels.
Okay. You play flute also.
Yes, sir.
Now your first choice is IS.
Yes, sir.
Now if you are placed in a difficult situation, say like where stone throwing is going on, and then how will you control? You must have seen images on the TV.
Yes, sir.
Of Indian soldiers being stoned in Srinagar.
Yes,
The most pathetic and heart-wrenching scene which I saw.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the people who defend us, they become defenseless because of what? They have the rifle,
Yes, sir.
but why do they become defenseless?
Because you cannot fire on your own citizens.
No, you can. If the citizens are, turbulent, then you can fire.
Sir, human rights have to be
No,
put at
human
the
rights
forefront.
are all right. They also have human rights.
Yes, sir.
No, but why a soldier cannot fight back?
So, I guess these are the
Don't you
reasons.
think that it's because of lack of political will?
Soldier also has a human right.
Yes.
Yes, sir. But at the same time, there must be specific guidelines as how he's supposed to act. So if
There are guidelines. He has been issued orders not to hit back. Why has he been issued orders? That is the thing.
because the people who are throwing stones are our own citizens, and they are generally from the youth section of the society who have been radicalized. So the correct way is getting them out of that mind frame rather than.
They were paid 500 rupees for throwing stones. Anyway.
Vishal,
And as you are answering some question, you participated in Republic Parade.
Yes, sir.
India is republic.
Yes, sir.
How we can say?
Because our head of state, that is our president, is an elected representative.
Bhutan is republic.
No, sir.
England is republic.
No, sir.
So they are. What is the difference in Britain or Bhutan?
They are constitutional monarchies.
So while you are answering one question regarding the women rights, you
Yes.
use the word choice.
Yes.
Which provision of our constitution gives us that type of right, which we can say right of choice?
Sir, Article 19 can be one, where we have the freedom to choose what we speak. 19,
Article 19.
the freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech means
Freedom of speech means that you have the choice to speak if you wish to say something, which is within the constitutional bounds, that is of law and order, morality, and
while you are now using that right,
yes,
you are
sir.
conferred with the right to choice.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
When you are using that right, you are having a right to choice
Is there
within.
any other right?
Yes, sir.
Is there any right which we can connect?
Yes, sir. One more that comes to my mind is Article 25.
25.
The right to choose your own religion, to practice, propagate, and follow.
Okay. There is one very famous case from the Supreme Court side which gives permanent commission to women.
Yes, sir.
can you highlight that what is the problem in that very case, and can you highlight or can you name that very case?
No, sir, I am not aware of that.
Okay, can Parliament of India modify fundamental rights related with army or we can say paramilitary forces?
Yes, sir.
On what ground?
Sir, it can change the fundamental rights on the ground that they do not alter the basic structure of the constitution.
No, my question here is not that whether Parliament can amend the constitution or not. My question is, suppose you are a civil servant and
Yes, sir.
one is in Delhi police or working in army. So can Parliament make curtail the fundamental rights the person who is in army? If yes, on what grounds?
Sir, I am not aware of the actual grounds, although the defense personnel and the people who are serving for the government, they have a restricted sense of fundamental rights in the very constitution.
Where it is written?
Sir, although I cannot recall the exact article, but if I may take a guess, it is Article 33 or 34.
Okay. On what grounds?
So I am not aware of that.
Okay.
Maintain.
So when you are answering one question regarding the poetry,
Yes, sir.
who is said to be father of poetry?
Father of English poetry,
Yes.
I can remember,
Yeah.
Sir Geoffrey Chaucer.
Can you name any contribution?
He has written a book called Canterbury Tales, but his poetry, the form of poetry that he writes, is set in Victorian England around 16th, 17th century. So I have not read much of that.
Which poet is said to be poet of beauty? Yeah, admirer of beauty.
Sir, in Hindi poetry,
In English.
in English poetry, William Wordsworth is one who is said to be a romantic poet.
No, there is one poet who said beauty to see, not to touch.
I am aware of John Keats who said the thing of beauty is joy forever.
Yeah, you're right. Then you are while answering one question, you are using term human rights.
Yes, sir.
Is it defined anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Where?
The UN Charter.
UN Charter.
UN
define
Charter
this
of
term?
UN Charter of Fundamental Rights.
UN Charter of
Basic human rights. I am not aware of the exact
Human
names.
right.
UN Charter of Human Rights.
that is UDHR, I think.
Yes, sir.
UN Charter.
UN Declaration of Human Rights. Yes.
When Human Rights Day is celebrated.
I cannot recall it, sir.
Okay. So is there a law made by Indian Parliament which define the term human rights?
Yes, sir.
Is human rights term is defined in any law made by Indian Parliament?
No, sir. I am not aware of it.
If you are asked that define the human rights, how you can define?
Sir, human rights are a sort of obligations on the individual as well as on the society.
If you are using obligation, then those are rights.
Yes, sir. A right of the individual is an obligation on the society.
Okay.
That the society is obligated to provide the individual with those rights.
But you are saying duty-oriented approach. That there is no concept of right. There is only right that is the duty of a person.
Sir, the right of an individual becomes the duty of the society.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. Vishal, just as a closing note, आपने 2-3 बार कबीर के दोहे
Yes, sir.
कुछ सुनाओ कबीर का दोहा।
बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा न मिलिया कोई जो मैं देखा आपने तो मुझसे बुरा न कोई. This is one.
Which religious book has lot of hymns from कबीर के दोहे?
Sir, the Guru Granth Sahib.
Guru Granth.
Yes.
Good. Shabash. Good, Vishal. Interview is over. You can relax now. I'll give you a very quick feedback. First feedback I would give, it is a very personal feedback. Nothing to do with your selection. I feel you will contribute to the country outside civil service in a much better way than. Okay? Just my heart feelings. Hand movement sir ने correct किया, but फिर भी हो रहा था. Then we kept quiet about it. Legs को थोड़ा अंदर. हाँ. There is the posture. ठीक है? इस posture को tie थोड़ा it is not properly set. एक बार जब जाओगे अंदर ना, there is a mirror outside the interview booth. वहाँ पे जब जाओगे, तो उस पे लिखा हुआ है कि am I smart? वो भी if at all they have not changed the mirror. लिखा रहेगा, ठीक है, तो उस पर अपने आप को 1 सेकंड के लिए देख करके योर एनर्जी इज वेरी हाई, योर इंफॉर्मेशन क्वोशंट इज वेरी हाई, थोड़ा वुमेन रोल में संभल के जवाब दो, संभल के जवाब दो। कुछ कुछ जगह पे यू स्लिप्ड योर टंग रिलेटेड टू ग्लोबल साउथ, यू सेड डेवलपिंग, you need to say least developed countries are not part of the global south.
Both of them.
LDCs are also
Yes.
part of it. Something known as emerging market economies,
Yes, sir.
EMEs.
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा उसकी भी आप पढ़ाई करिए। Are you proud of yourself? ऐसे सवाल को पहले लिख लो।
Yes.
और why you are proud of yourself?
Yes, sir.
I am proud. वहाँ पे सोचना, sir can I think? It means you are not proud. ठीक है? So कुछ कुछ you know recession, ठीक है, you did not maybe at that point of time. Single transferable vote, उसका एक अलग procedure है, that also कहीं ना कहीं.
Yes, sir.
One nation, one election fairly, Google Friends, problem solutions, perfect. बाकी आपने अच्छा, human rights पे थोड़ा अच्छे से पढ़ के जाइए. India has not signed any covenant related to human rights. Has India signed any covenant?
Have we signed the Universal Declaration of Rights?
Any covenant, international covenant on human rights?
Sir, I am not aware of. Although I think that UN,
थोड़ा रिसर्च करना इसके। रेफ्यूजीज का भी इंडिया हैज,
we have not signed. The refugees and genocide one we have not.
ठीक है, थोड़ा देखो, चलो गुड, एक्सेलेंट। हाँ, थोड़ा एनर्जी है, स्पोर्ट्समैन हो।
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा ओवर एक्साइटेड नहीं होना यहाँ पे ना, थोड़ा सा, you know, while you were introducing, you said I did my graduation from St. John University.
कॉलेज,
I repeat, you said St. John University.
कॉलेज,
Medicine.
हाँ, I remember that.
Can you recall? No. So you were in a hurry to answer. For all questions, take a pause.
अच्छा,
Take a pause. Pause is a must. Then your speed will definitely come down. Right, sir. Don't be overexcited. You are a good.
you got a prize in elocution, right?
Yes, sir.
तो elocution का एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट जो पहलू है कि how you deliver.
Yes, sir.
कहीं जब मैं सवाल आपसे कर रहा था या कोई फैकल्टी आपसे, कोई बोर्ड आपसे सवाल कर रहा था, did you ever felt that we are in a hurry to ask a question?
No, sir.
Same. You
Then
should.
why are you in a hurry to?
Yes.
ठीक है, but let me tell you, you are a very strong candidate. How was your mains?
Sir, it was good.
It was good. अच्छा लिखा था?
हाँ, yes, sir. Largely good.
Naturally fair,
Yes, sir.
है ना?
There are certain provisions in our laws. You must make the list of those after UN Charter.
बिल्कुल 40 days है.
What कब है?
40 days. 11 March.
Child of
40 days है.
Second World War.
Yes, sir.
Vishal Dubey, the child of Second World War.
Child of Second World War, as in
UN.
UN. UN is a child.
So now, when we made the UN Charter, there is less provision of human rights. Then UDHR, 1948.
Yes, sir.
Then ICCPR. Then ICESCR. Then Parliament made a law protection of Human Rights Act, 1993.
Yes.
There human rights term is defined. So while you are saying that we are want to drastic change in education, so education is a very, very important human rights.
Yes, sir.
So try to connect with the basic. These are very simple things.
Yes, sir.
You have the reservation,
No, sir.
right? Unreserved.
No, sir.
Your how? What is the date of birth?
Sir, 2nd of May 2002.
2002.
Yes, sir.
Why is it?
21 and a half.
Fine, sir. Okay. Good, very good. All the best. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, right.